I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I've had my Kindle Colorsoft for over a year now. So I figured we should do a check-in. I usually do a 6-month and a year, and I don't think I did a 6-month for the Colorsoft, which is not like me, but here we are. Kind of glad I didn't. I don't know that I'd have the same update for you that I have right now, a year and some change in. Yeah, it's kind of wild. I'll have the original video linked down below. I did go watch it. And I want to come back with like 2 of my big concerns that I had in that original video and how I feel now as someone who uses this a lot. A lot. So in my initial impressions, I discussed the graininess due to the color features. I will say this is the least grainy of my colored e-readers, which I own 2. And I haven't been bothered by it much in books. I noticed in the other brand one that I own, a Big Me, it's one of their older models now, but it is definitely a little bit grainier than the Colorsoft is. But yeah, when I'm in the book reading, it doesn't really bother me. I do read in dark mode. That is a big caveat I need to give y'all now. I am predominantly a dark mode reader. So on that note, I bemoaned the fact that we didn't get a true dark mode in the original software update for the Kindle Colorsoft, but in 2026, they gave us an update, and now you have true dark mode. So when you tap on the menu, you are not getting blasted with a white light, and my migraine-prone brain loves that update. Also, my late night reading loves that update. I'm not like potentially waking my partner up. It's a fantastic addition. I think we got it about 2 months ago now as of me filming this, and when I say that made me pick this device up even more than I already was, I don't know what to tell you. It was fan-freaking-tastic. So, like, where are we at a year? Has it replaced my Paperwhite? Is it the device I'm reaching for? Things like that we need to discuss, right? And when I first got this, was pretty hesitant to travel with it and stuff like that. We have now seen prices come down some on this device itself, which has made me more excited to travel with it because this has one of my favorite cases to date. So as you can see, it's blue. I've got the clear back. The reason I love this case is that when I travel, which I travel a good bit, it folds into a little tripod, and I can have my page turner on here, which I have one specifically for travel that lives in my travel bag. Page turner, my button, tray table. I'm set. I am locked in and reading my book on that flight. Do not disturb me. I'm getting my little drink when the flight attendants come by. I'm reading my book happily that entire flight, no matter the length. And that feature alone for the case has made this honestly one of my favorite Kindles, and honestly in a lot of ways made me fall in love with this Kindle even more because I couldn't find a case like that for my old Paperwhite. And I initially, when I bought the Colorsoft, was hesitant to travel with it and take it places because of how fragile-ish it is. Now, of all of my e-readers, I would say the Kindle is the sturdiest of them all, but I still have nerves over a new device and travel. The other takeaway is I know I got this in hopes that I would maybe read manga on it sometimes, and that's not really happening a ton. I am occasionally reading a manga on here. I still definitely rely heavily on my iPad for manga reading, or my phone. That's just my preference. Or physicals. I do read a lot of my manga physically. But in a pinch, this is fantastic and really does the job. As well as my other tiny e-reader, the Books Palma that I have. This similar for the manga reading. I feel like they both are usable and feasible options. But yeah, I think it was interesting because I definitely feel like I left that original Colorsoft video saying, like, if you really want a color device, get it. It's going to be worth it for you. But, you know, it may not be like your favorite thing ever. Like, you know, there were issues at that time, a year ago. We were still having pretty common older devices with a yellow band across the bottom and things like that. And now I would say that most of that issue seems resolved, which is great. And for me, at least, I can actually recommend this device now moving forward, especially because you are able to get this Colorsoft for close to the same price as a Paperwhite. And I think that makes it easier to recommend. And again, you're going to have the most case options available for the newest models. I'm not upgrading my Paperwhite anytime soon to the newest Paperwhite model by any means. I am still like using my Paperwhite. I still reach for it when I'm going into a pool or a water heavy situation. So basically a pool or a water park, I guess I would take my Paperwhite. A cruise, although I'm probably taking my Kindle, the Colorsoft on a cruise I'm going on. So maybe not a cruise, but yeah, like if I'm going to be like in the water reading, I want my Paperwhite. Mostly because if my personal paranoia kicks in and I like drop the device, while the Colorsoft is also water resistant, it's less of a hassle to replace a Kindle Paperwhite than a Colorsoft. Again, the deals remain relatively same-ish, but I do think it's been fascinating that in the last year, I have a lot of e-readers. You don't need to own a lot of e-readers because I do these videos. I keep a lot of the ones I review. And I think it's fascinating. The two that I'm reaching for the most are my Colorsoft and my Books Palma. Those two are the e-readers that I like to use the most. Those are the ones that I reach for. Those are the ones I'm most excited to use every time. So, like, the Colorsoft to me is just like an easy recommendation now. Now, some questions to ask yourself and things that I would say to keep in mind as I tell you if you should, like, as you think about if you should or shouldn't get a Colorsoft or if you should get a Paperwhite or a basic. Listen, I would at least get the Paperwhite so you have the backlighting when you need it. You can always just have it off. I think for the Colorsoft, if you're in particular, like, able to get one at a deal, whether that's used from Unclaimed Baggage, Facebook Marketplace, all those places, eBay, whatever. Or if you're able to get one a sale time on Amazon or I think, you know, different websites that sell the Colorsoft or places where the price difference between a regular Paperwhite and a Colorsoft is not that big, yes. I'm going to say yes. Go ahead and get the Colorsoft. Pay for the upgraded price if you are someone who just really wants colored covers on your Kindle, with the reminder that these covers are not going to be vibrant colored covers. It's soft, color soft, right? So I think, yeah, if the price difference is $20 and you just think you want the color version, get the color version. Go for the Colorsoft. I have seen a couple people, I will say, also talk that the Colorsoft hurts their eyes, which I think is fascinating. I've not had this issue specifically at all, which is surprising as, again, a migraine-prone person. I will say that I can kind of see it. I also, though, have my settings finagled very specifically. In fact, I will tell you my settings right now. So on the main page, I have this set at a 12 brightness and a 14 warm. Standard color style because I don't really care if it's vivid or not or any of that right now, especially on just my book covers. But I find that those settings in both, that was dark mode, and in light mode, give me plenty of visibility and like good ability to see what's on the page. You mostly keep my Kindle in dark mode. Keep that in mind. And yeah, those settings have worked well when I go to read my books. You know, if you get one, get it somewhere that you can return it, because if it does hurt your eyes to read on, it might be not be a bad idea to just have the option to return it and get a Paperwhite. The other thing I will say is if you are stressed about a device break on you or things like that, I think a Kindle Paperwhite is one of the sturdiest devices you could ever buy. And the Colorsoft is a very similar form factor. There is a slight difference in the screen stuff here because of the color. So keep that in mind for yourself. Are you someone who's going to be stressed about replacing it or have a hard time replacing the device if it does break? These devices generally should last you 5+ years, if not more, depending on how much you read. But yeah, I do feel like I kind of baby my Colorsoft a little bit more still, a little less now that I've had it for a year, but I'm definitely more cautious on where and how I'm taking it with me places. But yeah, I've used my Colorsoft the most in the last probably 7 months now of having it. Specifically, when I got this fold back case, like that was my game changer. And when I really started leaning into this device and loving it. Now, obviously, also I will say I like this part about the case. You can kind of use it to hold it open and read a little easier. So that's nice. Now, that helps, obviously, but you can get this exact same case on a Paperwhite. So if the case is like your appealing factor, you can get one for a Paperwhite too. So don't like make it sell you on getting the color. But yeah, I've started using it more in the last 7 months, and I would say babying it less and taking it out with me more, which has been really nice. Because my Paperwhite to me is just like I can chuck it in my purse device. I have screen protectors on everything also, but I can chuck it in my purse and go. It's fine. It's going to hold up. So yeah, I think like depending on what you want cost-wise, like if the cost is the difference, don't make yourself save up an extra $20 or whatever to afford a Colorsoft. But I don't hate it. I'm really, really actually surprised at how much I've enjoyed seeing my book covers in color on my Kindle. And I'm really happily surprised at how much I'm using this and one other e-reader that I have out of all of them the most. So I don't know. One day I'll have a Kobo Libra color and we will discuss that. But for now, between a Books Palma and a Kindle Colorsoft, I don't really need anything else. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I do basically recommend this device enough that like I ended up having a couple friends get Colorsofts during the last Prime Day sale because their Kindles were finally giving out after having them for a very long time. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I think, again, if you really care about color, save up the money, get the colorsoft, but wait for a sale. Never ever buy these things full price. If you are kind of indifferent and not sure if you even care about color, I would just buy Paperwhite, and or if you financially, or if you have a little bit of stress about like durability. Again, not that I don't think these are durable. I just know that Paperwhites have served me well for a very long time as someone who had a Kindle keyboard, okay? Listen, I've lived a lot of generations of Kindles, and I think right now the Paperwhite and Colorsofts, the Paperwhite in particular, is like the top tier Kindle we've had to date. Anyways, I want to know what e-reader you're using right now, so let me know that down in the comments. What ones are you looking at? What is your e-reader of choice in 2026? I will be back in probably September with a like, which e-reader should you pick kind of video probably situation, since I now have so many. So if you're interested in that, let me know down below, because I can make it happen, make sure it happens. But it's kind of been noodling around in my head here as I've used these devices a lot in the last year. And if you don't do any of that, you can leave me a storm emoji, because I can hear, you probably cannot hear it, but I hear the storm rolling in outside right now, and I'm like, oh no. Fingers crossed we keep power. I'm a little nervous, because it's quite the storm that it looks like out there. So yeah, you can let me know all that down below. I'll have links to the Kindle I have, the case, all that good stuff for you down there, as well as links to the prior videos, and stuff. So I will be back to talk to you in a few days in my next video, and I hope you have a good, yeah. Alright, I'll be back to talk to y'all in a few days in my next video. Bye!
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited